You ever have a moment where your whole life shifts in the space of a heartbeat? Mine started with a clear sky, a government-issued SUV, and a street light on the edge of a neighborhood where folks like me always feel watched. I wasn't lost. I was working. Quiet op, eyes open, nothing out of line. Until a cop with too much pride and too little patience decided my face didn't belong behind that wheel. He stepped out of his cruiser like a man ready for a fight, hand near his weapon, eyes already past judgment. He didn't ask who I was, didn't run plates, just walked straight up and said, "Black woman in a Fed car? You think this is a movie?" And before I could say a single word, he pulled the trigger. No warning, just bang. First bullet hit my shoulder. I stumbled, tried to steady myself. Second one went through my ribs, dropped me to the ground. I remember the heat of the pavement, my phone slipping out of my hand with the emergency screen still lit. He stomped it, spat. "Who you calling? Your law?" Like I was some joke, like I wasn't worth the courtesy of a question. I didn't cry, I didn't scream. I just looked at him, straight in the eye. And I swear, he flinched. Because what he saw wasn't fear, it was knowing. I had seen that look before. Men like him think silence is submission, but sometimes it's a mirror. And he didn't like what was staring back. He cuffed me while I bled, snapped my shoulder clean out of place like he was breaking a toy. Still, I didn't make a sound. Not because I couldn't, but because I wouldn't. That kind of quiet? It gets into your bones, makes people wonder what they missed, makes them look. They took me to the ICU, tried to run my ID. Every system locked up. Tier 7, then Tier 8. They couldn't even find my blood type. Not a glitch. Just clearance they weren't supposed to touch. My wristband didn't say my name. It said Federal Field Operative. And that was enough to make the head nurse back away without asking questions. You see, I wasn't just some government employee. I was part of a black mission. One of the few operatives who moved without needing regional approval. I'd spent the last 2 years tracking dirty connections between local police and a private arms network. I'd been following Officer Ray Driscoll for months. I knew he was dirty. But he knew me too. He recognized me the second I stepped out that SUV, and he still pulled the trigger. But this time, the system didn't bury the truth fast enough. A TikTok leaked. Just my bloody hand, the metal bracelet catching the hospital lights. No words, no music. And somehow, that silence went viral. Within hours, hashtags exploded. She is 2319, Graves Matter. People didn't even know my name yet. They just knew someone important had been shot, and the silence around it meant something big was being hidden. Then the fire spread. Journalists dug deeper. Retired agents started posting anonymously, saying they'd seen me before. One even said, "Rick just stepped on a federal landmine," and boy was he right. When I woke up, yeah, I made it. I didn't ask for painkillers. I didn't want the memory dulled. I watched the footage, saw the moment he squinted. Not out of confusion, out of recognition. I froze the video, looked straight at the frame and said, "He knew." And the minute I said it, nobody in the room argued. The trial came fast. At first, they didn't want me there, said I was too sensitive a subject. But I walked into that courtroom with my head high and my file classified tighter than Fort Knox. They showed his body cam, raw footage, no edits, just me stepping out calmly, hands visible, and him already with his finger on the trigger. No threat, no resistance, just a look he didn't like. And then Marcus took the stand. Homeless man. Right arm twisted from a past takedown. Said he remembered me. Said I once gave him a bottle of water and told him not to disappear. And when he saw my face on the news, he pulled out a phone with old footage. Grainy, shaky, but clear enough. There was Ray, watching me from across the street. Civilian clothes, radio in hand. Voice caught saying, "The Fed bitch is hovering." Someone confirm her eyed. You could feel the shift in that room. Not a whisper, just silence. The kind that feels heavy, like truth just dropped a 1,000-pound brick in everyone's lap. Ray didn't even look up. His lawyer didn't object. There was nothing left to say. After that, it wasn't a question of guilt. It was how deep the system had been covering for him. Old complaints came out. 2 for violence against black women. 1 for breaking a kid's spine in a takedown. All swept under the rug. Until now. The sentence came fast. But honestly, the courtroom didn't need to deliver it. The people already had. Kids were lying in intersections with my name on their wrists. Law schools were rewriting immunity statutes. Artists were painting murals, not of me bleeding, but of me standing, unshaken. Ray thought 1 bullet would erase me. Instead, it woke the country up. And me? I didn't survive to heal. I survived to make sure he didn't get the last word. I walked out of that hospital without a thank you, without an apology, without a handshake. Just a sentence in my file. Target confirmed. Withdrawal not necessary. Because my work's not done. So now I ask you, what would you have done? If someone looked at your skin and saw threat instead of value? If justice came only after your blood hit the ground? Drop your thoughts below. Tell me where you've seen this kind of silence. Or maybe where you've broken it. Because the truth is, I didn't speak to be heard. I spoke because too many people never got the chance. And I'm not letting them disappear.